Thrombotic thrombocytopenic purpura. Disseminated intravascular coagulation, heparin-induced thrombocytopenia, and thrombotic thrombocytopenic purpura. These three disorders associated with thrombosis but thrombocytopenia. Thrombosis is caused by activation of coagulation factor that forms thrombus, but there is thrombocytopenia due to consumption. So the clinical feature of thrombotic thrombocytopenic purpura are for memorizing. You remember, in the head there is neurological sequelae. This includes headache, cranial nerve palsy, and stroke-like manifestation, confusion, seizure, coma. And in the forehead there is fever. In the chest there is heart. So hematological two disorder are thrombocytopenia and thrombotic microangiopathic intravascular hemolytic anemia. And in the back there is kidney, so acute renal failure. And what are the investigation you should do? Number one, if you do a CBC, there will be thrombocytopenia, excellent. And due to intravascular hemolysis, there will be low hemoglobin, cystocyte in PVF, and increased reticulocyte count. There is also other manifestation of intravascular hemolysis. These are increased LDH, increased unconjugated bilirubin, decreased haptoglobin, hemoglobin urea, that is DP positive for blood, and hemosiderin in urine. And for acute renal failure, you will find due to fluid retention, oliguria, anuria, hypertension, peripheral edema, pulmonary edema, and increased creatinine, increased urea, increased hydrogen ion, that is metabolic acidosis. And if you do a electrolyte, there will be hyperkalemia and arrhythmia also. Fractional excretion of sodium will be less than 1% if it is pre-renal acute renal failure, and if it is more than 1%, it is established acute renal failure. And urine will show muddy granular cast. So what are the findings of ECG in hyperkalemia? Up to 7 there will be tall tented T wave, and up to 7 to 8 there will be loss of P, wide QRS complex. If it is more than 8, it is usually fatal. It is associated with asystole and ventricular fibrillation. So and also ADAM-TS13, serum ADAM-TS13 activity, it will be less than 10%. What is ADAM-TS13? ADAM-TS13 is a protein that breaks von Willebrand factor multimer into small functional unit. If antibody is produced against ADAM-TS13, the function will be lost. That means von Willebrand factor multimer will be present in the blood. It is an acute autoimmune disorder. It can occur alone or associated with ticlopidin, cyclosporin, HIV, Shiga toxin, and malignancy. It is a hematological emergency because untreated cases mortality is 90% within 10 days, and with appropriate therapy mortality is 20 to 30% within 6 months. So it is treated by plasma exchange, and in severe or relapsing cases glucocorticoid, low dose aspirin, and rituximab. So if you want to revise with me again, you listen just. Thrombotic thrombocytopenic purpura, disseminated intravascular coagulation, and heparin-induced thrombocytopenia are thrombotic disorder but associated with thrombocytopenia. The clinical features are from head to downward. In head, neurological sequelae. In forehead, there is fever. In heart, there is hematological disorder. Hematological disorders are thrombocytopenia and thrombotic microangiopathic intravascular hemolytic anemia. And in the back there will be renal impairment, and serum ADAM-TS13 will be less than 10%. And it is an acute autoimmune disorder, may occur independently or associated with ticlopidin, cyclosporin, HIV, Shiga toxin, and malignancy. And it is a hematological malignancy, so treated with plasma exchange, glucocorticoid, aspirin, rituximab. And prognosis is very bad. Untreated cases mortality 90% within 10 days. If we even with appropriate therapy, mortality is 20 to 30% within 6 months. And the findings of intravascular hemolysis are decreased hemoglobin, cystocyte in PBF, increased reticulocyte, and increased LDH, increased unconjugated bilirubin, decreased haptoglobin, hemoglobin urea, hemosiderin in urine, DP urine positive for blood. And in AKI, oliguria, anuria, hypertension, peripheral edema, pulmonary edema, increased creatinine, increased urea, increased hydrogen, that is acidosis, increased potassium, that is hyperkalemia, and fractional excretion of sodium less than 1% if pre-renal acute renal failure and more than 1% if established acute renal failure. In case of acute renal failure, you will find muddy granular cast in the urine and arrhythmia and ECG changes of hyperkalemia. Thank you.